How's it going, everybody? Today I'm reviewing Arrow Season 4, Episode 19, Canary Cry. Spoilers for episode if you've not seen it, go watch this episode, then come back here. This episode pretty much dealt with the fallout of the Laurel Lantz death. It is confirmed, she's dead. She's the one in the grave, as you can see by the picture behind me. She's dead. She's the one that they're mourning. But I like how this episode opened up. It opened up with a flashback, and you got to see the funeral of Tommy, and just how that played out. And you got to see, again, this in between Season 1 and 2, Oliver Queen, and Season 1 to 2, Laurel Lantz. And it reminded me of actually how well they actually used Laurel in those first couple season or two. Because, I was fine, like, the little bidding romance that they had in the flashback here that it showed, I was okay with it back then. They just kind of, her character just, I feel like they had to kill her because they realized they screwed up. I don't know if I'm just speculating. Yeah, I love seeing those flashbacks. You really got to see the old school Oliver Queen and just how far back the relationship does go. Just a good reminder and a good farewell for Katie Cassidy's character on Laurel Lantz. Now, I'm not like on the I hate Laurel train, but she was my favorite character by any means, and I didn't like how they used her a whole lot. But as I was saying though, this episode was the perfect farewell. Sure, you could say that it's a filler episode, but I didn't take it as that. I thought of it as a goodbye episode to Laurel Lantz. I mean, there was a bit of my only negatives were kind of with the other Canary person who took over a mantle. Just it didn't quite fit in with this episode. I got what they were trying to go for. It just didn't work for me because I'm so focused on the other emotional moments that happened in this episode. Speaking of emotional moments, there was some great ones in this one. I love how Diggle had to deal with this. He's saying, like, my brother turned on me. I don't quite know how to deal with this. Like, Oliver's right. I'm the one saying you can't have a blind spot for family, and Diggle's the one who had the blind spot for his family. And he realizes that, and he goes on his own. He's going to kill Dark's wife, the mayor, and that's not what you want to do, because it's going to make all these people, the public, turn against you, because she is the mayor, after all. And his flip out was amazing. That was the most emotion I've ever seen from Diggle. And again, one of those great scenes in this episode. Just seeing that, like, that frustration and guilt that Diggle has, and how Oliver has to calm him down a little bit, and it was almost like a role reversal, where it's normally Diggle giving the insight to Oliver, where this time it was the other way around. Another one of the other great emotional moments was between Oliver and Quentin. And Quentin, basically, I'll start with him actually, just his story in this episode, him trying to deal with that, like, there's a way she's got to come back. My daughter's came back from the dead twice, basically, in Sarah with the boat and with the Lazarus pit. So he's trying to find a way that, no, he's clinging on to anything, because when he first sees the other Canary out there, he's like, she's alive, she must be. So they go into the morgue there, and they see her. He's like, oh no, she's dead. But he's like, oh, Lazarus pit. I'll go on to the Lazarus pit actually while I'm talking about it. They just destroyed the Lazarus pit off screen, kind of thing. Just, I would like to maybe see that. Well, I guess, I mean, it's not too important. I'm just nitpicking. But yeah, he goes into that, and he wants his daughter back from the Lazarus pit, but that doesn't happen, and he's trying to cling on to anything, and that leads to the moment between Oliver and Quentin, where they have a great moment, and Paul Blackburn, bravo. That was some of the best acting I think he's done on the show so far. He's had some great scenes. This one of my favorites, just between the two of them, and just how they're both, and Oliver has to say, like, no, I've lost people too. I've lost my dad. I lost Sarah as well. I lost my mom. He almost lost his sister. Oliver's had to deal with loss as well, but Quentin's like, no, but I'm gonna, like, she was my rock. She was the one, like, I became an alcoholic when Sarah died again. So he doesn't want to go down that path, and just some sad emotional moments that were great to watch. Which brings us to Oliver's eulogy, and when he delivers that, another great speech. It's very touching. Again, paralleling. I don't know if they needed to have the girl, the other Canary girl, in the background there at the funeral. I don't know if that was necessary. I understand, again, why they did it, because it was in the episode. I think it could have worked better if she wasn't there, just with the people around her. Again, nitpick. And then it parallels it with the note that he leaves when he goes to Lian Yu between seasons 1 and 2. So, again, some just great emotional moments. That's what this really did, and I like that. A really strong outing, I think, for me, after some okay at last few episodes. I liked the last one, I think. I'm trying to remember. But the two before that just weren't my favorites. And we finally get to the point where they've been teasing at the very beginning, when Oliver's looking at the grave and Barry shows up. The only thing I didn't get was how the Flash, if you watch the Flash, it's kind of a mini spoiler, how the Flash has a speed and I just didn't understand where that fits in the timeline, if it was just a continuity error or whatnot. They're usually pretty good about that stuff, so I don't know, that might get explained on the Flash, where Barry's like, oh, I had to go see this once he does get his speed back. Who knows? And it ends in the scene with Oliver and Felicity in the limo, and Felicity's like, you gotta kill him. And it basically, now, I thought this was gonna happen maybe the end of season or last one episode beforehand, but now it brings us right into the home stretch. And I think these last 3 episodes are gonna be pretty great and all very story driven, moving the plot forward for the last few episodes. So anyways, I really like this episode. I thought it was a great farewell to a character who wasn't necessarily the most liked in the world. I think you really got to understand, like, man, she was a great character, at least in some way or another, if you weren't a fan of her. And again, she did a great farewell. I'm sure Katie Cassidy might appear in flashbacks or on Earth 2 on The Flash. I think she actually is appearing on Earth 2 on The Flash in one episode. But yeah, good episode. I really enjoyed it. Let me know your thoughts on the episode again in the comment section below. Again, be sure to like this video and subscribe to my channel for more videos each and every week. That is it, and I will talk to y'all later.